Kia ora and welcome to the Division of Education segment of this online webinar. We are here to give you a brief introduction to our programs that we offer in the Division of Education, and I'm Wendy Kars, the program leader for the Bachelor of Teaching program. So we've got two of our staff here and some students that you'll meet. We'll focus first on our teaching programs that cover early childhood, primary and secondary. So we have the Bachelor of Education, a Graduate Diploma in Teaching, Postgraduate Diploma in Teaching, and a Masters of Teaching and Learning. I'm just going to hand over to Philippa Cosgrove. Thank you.
Oh, kia ora koutou. Ko Philippa Cosgrove tōku ingoa. I'm the academic coordinator for the Bachelor of Teaching for the students, Hamilton students who are here on campus. So thanks for being here today. You're probably sitting there wondering if teaching is for you. So I thought that we would let two of our students tell you about their experiences and why they got into teaching. But first of all, I'll let you introduce yourselves.
So I'm Saskia Riedel and I am a second year Bachelor of Teaching Education student.
Kia ora mai tātou, ko Tūriri Brown taku ingoa. He uri tēnei no ngā tōpito maha o te whare tapu o Ngāpuhi. Kia ora, my name is Tūriri. I'm also a second year doing my BA in Teaching Primary Kakanoroa.
Could you explain for us what Kakanoroa is?
Yeah, so Kakanoroa is the Māori stream, I'd say, going off of the mainstream towards the degree that I sit on. Yeah, it basically covers the Māori curriculum taught in Māori schools and bilingual schools as well throughout New Zealand.
So first question, what inspired you to decide to become a teacher?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
What really inspired me to become a teacher was just the number of, I guess, children in New Zealand who I wanted to influence, I guess, because children are going to be the future and they are going to be our leaders and doctors and lawyers and policemen and policewomen, and they're going to be the front of New Zealand in a few years, and I wanted to have an influence on that and wanted to kind of be a driving force behind what New Zealand will look like in 50 years. So that's why I decided to go into primary teaching.
Mine is very similar to Saskia's. Personally, I grew up with a lot of teachers in my family and a lot of role models towards the education life, which I kind of grew to love over time. And knowing how bad my community was and how low of teachers were where I am from, I kind of gained this passion towards wanting to become a teacher, to go home, to basically teach and, you know, influence others to grow up in this world educated, I'd say. Yeah.
So you see teaching as a way to give back to the community, and
Yeah.
brilliant. So you're both second years. What has surprised you the most about teaching?
I think something that surprised me is how hard it actually is, not so much academically. There are points in that which are really hard, but also just working with students and going into placement. I thought it would be a lot of fun and games, but while it is fun and games, there were moments where that were really hard, and I wasn't expecting that. There's a lot of work that goes behind being a teacher and a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I wasn't expecting so much. Yeah.
Well, coming from a kura kaupapa myself, I found it a real culture shock coming to this big entire environment and then studying such I'd say a very interesting degree. But overall, it was just the experience, I guess, of being in second year and first year, which kind of gave me a shock towards it. The workload is much bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Hang on, we're trying to sell the program.
Yeah, sorry. You can manage it, and overall it's a really, really good program to be on. It's real culturally supportive as well, come from my perspective.
Saskia, you mentioned being in your class school. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so for the first year, so last year we were in school 1 day a week, which was on a Thursday. And then at the end of our academic year, we got to go into school for, it was 3 weeks, which was really amazing. It was a really awesome opportunity to be able to go into placement so early on in the course, because you really got to see if you enjoy teaching and if you actually liked being around children all day and whether it was something you could see yourself doing. And also just getting that experience of being in the classroom was really awesome. And the 3 week block was amazing as well. Yeah.
So 1.5 years in, what would you say are the most rewarding parts of being a teacher?
Definitely the experience, overall the experience, learning what my teachers actually went through to teach me. I have much appreciation for them now. I hope my future students say the same thing. But yeah, halfway through the degree, I'm really proud of myself and everyone who's started this degree with me. We've been faced with a lot of challenges, but overall, the entire experience has just been something that I could never express. But yeah.
So you felt a real community feeling?
Yeah.
Something I found most rewarding would link also back to the placement, and being in the classroom with the students and then working with them, and then they just have these light bulb moments of what you've been trying to get through to them, and then all of a sudden it clicks and they're like, I understand and I get it. And being the teacher of that student, I think there's something behind that where you just feel like you're floating on cloud 9. It's amazing, and that's definitely been something that I've really, really enjoyed about the placements and just studying to be a teacher. Yeah.
I think you've answered the last question around what are the parts of the program you enjoy the most.
Yeah.
Any last comments?
Join our program.
Yeah. I promise you it'll be amazing.
We approve this message.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Now, if you already have a degree, then we still have programs for you with the graduate teaching, the graduate diploma in teaching and the postgraduate diploma in teaching. And there's also the Masters of Teaching and Learning. At this point, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to both of you for coming in. I really appreciate it. And we're now going to pass over to Diane and Adela, who are going to share some information with you about the Bachelor of Social Sciences.
Kia ora, I'm Diane Forbes and we're here to talk to you about the Bachelor of Social Sciences. This is Adela. The Bachelor of Social Sciences is like a degree that you do about learning and education quite broadly when you may not actually want to be a teacher in an early childhood centre or in a classroom particularly, because learning and education are something that goes across the lifespan and through a range of contexts in the community and for various ages. So if you're interested in learning throughout life, not sure that you want to be a teacher in a classroom, then you might consider the Bachelor of Social Sciences as a degree. The Bachelor of Social Sciences has 3 majors named on the slide there, and it's quite a good complement to other degrees that are offered here at the University of Waikato, including the Bachelor of Laws, and some people will do a conjoint degree, a double degree, or will take some of our majors as minor subjects in conjunction with other studies as well. Just looking at our majors there, Education and Society, which is offered in Hamilton and in Tauranga at the beautiful campus over there. That's about lifelong learning, as we said, but about the social, cultural, political influences that on learning and lifelong learning. The second major there is, not that they're in any particular order, is digital learning, which is one that I work in particular. And that's about how digital technologies can influence and affect both enhance and hinder learning throughout the life span as well. So if you're interested in how learning might occur through apps, through digital games and through social media, then digital learning might be a major or a minor that you would look at as a subject in the BSOC Sci. And finally on the slide there we have human development. Human development is about learning across the entire human lifespan from even before birth right through to the inevitable end. So we look at in human development and learning throughout the whole of life. While you can do a Bachelor of Social Sciences majoring in Education and Society, Digital Learning or Human Development through our School of Education, there are other varieties of the BSOC Sci degree that are offered by the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences and also by the Faculty of Maori and Indigenous Studies too, here at the University of Waikato. If you Google BSOC Sci Waikato, you'll see a really informative website about the degree and its varieties, and to see the education varieties with those three majors, you can just click on the Education tab. Why would you do a BSOC Sci in education? Probably because you're interested in looking very widely at how learning occurs and what influences learning throughout the entire lifespan at all ages and stages. You might be interested in becoming a community educator or a trainer. You might be interested in becoming a policy advisor or a youth worker, or maybe you'd like to have a go at designing educational software and games and apps that are supportive of learning. And I'd like to turn you over to Adela, who is one of our Bachelor of Social Sciences students.
Hi everyone.
Okay, got some questions for Adela here. So tell the people what you're studying.
I'm studying a Bachelor of Social Sciences, majoring in Human Development.
So human development. So what's human development like for you?
It's actually really interesting because you learn the biological concepts as well as the psychological concepts in a human being. And you study different age groups.
Yeah.
So from adolescents, from like tweens, teens, or like adolescents, and adulthood or aging. And you just learn how they change in their behaviors and attitudes towards people, and understanding humans.
Yeah, so a bit of biology and psychology in there, as well as social influences on understanding humans. That sounds great. Why did you choose BSOC Sci with education?
Well, at first I didn't want to. I was planning on doing teaching, but then I found this degree when I was doing summer school, and when I read about it, there's just so many more opportunities available when you do this degree. So if you don't necessarily want to teach, you can actually do this degree but still be involved in the education field.
And I guess you can change your mind again later too, because if you do want to teach, you have the graduate pathways that Wendy was talking about before. So what do you enjoy most about your studies?
With this degree, I actually I enjoy studying different papers. So since last year, my first year, now I've studied, I've done psychology papers, I've done education papers, human development papers, and philosophy papers as well. So there's like a range of opportunities, a lot of papers that you can do with this degree. It's kind of flexible.
Yeah, huge variety there. So what are your plans for the future?
Since this is my second year, hopefully next year I'll graduate, and I'm planning on doing a graduate diploma in teaching.
Fantastic, which takes us full circle. We just wanted to mention that after your undergraduate studies, there are a range of options for continuing through postgraduate education programs at master's level. Some of those are mentioned on the slides there, so you can study various flavours of masters in education, educational leadership, and a Master of educational management is also available, as well as a closer look at disability and inclusion studies and the Master of Counselling. So that's truly lifelong learning, exemplified there, because you can keep going and study and develop your lifelong learning even further. That's it from us, I think. Thank you.